The month of May is known as Mental Health Awareness Month, so throughout the month I will be posting vlog-style videos where I talk about my mental health journey. The beginning of 2019 has been a rough start to the year, and throughout the past couple of weeks I've been vlogging my experience so far and my troubles with doctor's appointments. I want to start talking more about my mental health so that we can continue to erase the stigma that surrounds it. Hopefully with these videos we can start a conversation. It's taken a lot for me to open up about this stuff, so any negative comments will not be well received. Millions struggle with mental illness their whole lives. It is a serious topic that needs to be addressed. As for help, I suggest going to see your GP, family doctor. I will leave some phone numbers that you can call when in crisis in the description. I'll also leave links to mental health charities if you would like to donate. You know that feeling in a video game when you're so close to beating this boss and you're just like 2 hits away from beating him, and then either you die or he just completely heals himself. That is how I feel right now. Things are different, don't they? Things are very different right now. Okay, before we go full on serious, no funny business shiz, because that will be happening, because this is a serious video and I need people to listen to me and realize that this is a problem. Note change. Yes. Yes. Room is slightly different. What? My computer's there now instead of there? What? You can probably barely see that. I can't see what I'm doing. I don't know if the organising my room video came out before this or the hair dye one. I dyed my hair but it looks normal in camera, but I don't know if it looks... oh, whatever. Anyway, I moved my room around. I like this now because I have a bit more free space over here to put stuff, and it gives me more free space over here to move around. I find myself in a dilemma. To know the real extremes of my dilemma, we have to go back till... I don't even know how long it's been. I'm still in therapy, so I want to say December. I went to a doctor for my lump because it got really big and it was really painful at work. So I was like, oh, it's a good chance to bring up the fact that I'm not sleeping. Back in December, I couldn't sleep. I couldn't sleep at night and I had to have naps during the day after work. I do that now, but that's just because the meds I'm on now make me sleep more. It's hard to explain. Anyway, so in December I was on sertraline and I was on highest dosage, which was about 200, I think. Not completely sure. But I was on the highest dosage of sertraline and nothing was getting better. My anxiety was horrible, my depression was horrible. So I did what anyone did or would do, and I went to a doctor. They took me off sertraline and they put me on mirtazapine. I still can't pronounce it. I've been on it for the past 5 months and I can't pronounce it still. And they started me off on 15 milligrams. And it was okay, it was different. It's a completely different drug and it's mainly an antidepressant used for sleeping because I couldn't sleep. So they were like, oh, I'll give you some sleeping stuff. But you knew there was a but coming. I went to this doctor who looked like he'd just come out of med school. Okay, there's nothing wrong with that, I get it, you have to start from somewhere. But when you have to Google if someone can be on sertraline and mirtazapine at the same time, then we have a problem. Everyone here is probably like, Louise, why don't you just go to your GP? Oh, I don't know, because the GP I go to are only open the hours that I'm at work or napping after work. I also need my mum to come with me all the fucking time because I'm so anxious about being outside my house by myself. You following? Yeah. And my GP is never actually working when I need to see him. I met my GP for the first time 2 months ago. I haven't seen him since. So we went to this completely different doctor who looked like he was fresh out of med school, and he decided he was going to take me off sertraline. I have read the instructions of my medication thoroughly. I know how much I'm meant to take, how often I take it, what will happen if I don't take it, all the side effects that happen when I do take it, and all the side effects that happen when I don't take it. So this guy, this doctor, who should know this, realistically, if you're giving it to someone, you're writing that prescription, should know this, took me off sertraline immediately. Now, here's the problem. I was on the highest dose of sertraline, and it's an addictive drug, because most drugs are, especially when it comes to, you know, not fixing it, treating mental illnesses. Most of the drugs that they use are addictive. Sertraline is an addictive drug, and I still want to go back to it. It's been 4 months, but it's been the worst 4 months in terms of my mental illness, and you can't take someone off it like that. You can't just take the drug away from them and not let them have lower dosages of it until it runs out of their system. You have to give them lower dosages. So I was on 200. What they should have done was bring me down to 100 for a little while and bring me down and down and down till I'm on the lowest dosage, and then like have me stop taking it every couple of days or so, because you take like one every day. This guy didn't know that for some reason, took me off it immediately. I wanted to trust the doctor, so I didn't say anything, even though I knew he was wrong the moment he told me he was taking me off it. I then went through a month of hell. I was sleeping way too much. I was sleeping enough at night and still needed the naps after work. My therapist spent most of her time trying to get me to stop having naps after work, that I just stopped saying that I was having naps after work because I was so fucking tired. Going through all the side effects of sertraline, I cannot remember any of them right now because it's been so long. I felt sick all the time. I was sleeping too much. Okay, here are some withdrawal symptoms. Irritability, nausea, feeling dizzy, vomiting, nightmares, headache. I don't know what that means. But it leads on to my next point of, I was so angry for like 2 months. I realized recently that I'm not angry anymore. I'm really calm. Not like calm, but like, since all the sertraline has like vanished from my body systems, I don't punch things anymore. When they took me off the sertraline and I was having side effects, I went through a really rough time. I was so angry. I was breaking things at work. Don't tell my job. I'm a baker, okay? So I would go in the freezer at the end of the day after being super pissed off by everyone who is incompetent. They still are, but I'm not as pissed off by them. And I would find a piece of broken French stick and I would just chuck it. I broke boxes. I almost broke my hand at one point. I got a French stick, a frozen French baguette thing that was like snapped in half. Sometimes they snap in half during transit, don't worry about it. And I smashed it so hard off a trolley, it flinged off. It hit my leg. It hit this leg right here. I had a massive bruise and I was in a lot of pain and I had to walk home. I was in a really bad place then because I was just really angry and I couldn't calm down. I couldn't be happy. Everything made me angry. Playing deceit and losing made me punch my wall. I called the doctor by myself because I was pissed off. I was so angry that the panic attacks about calling people couldn't get to me. So I called and this woman picked up and I explained everything to her. I explained to her that I was angry. I explained that he took me off the sertraline wrong and I needed help. And she said, okay, you're due for a checkup in a week about your meds. You can talk to the doctor then, but for now, I'm gonna put you on diazepam. Diazepam calms you down, like a lot, okay? So they put me on that for a week. But I didn't see the doctor again for at least 3 more weeks. So I only had a week worth of diazepam. Let me tell you, I got addicted. There was a point I took it so often. You take it like 3 times a day sometimes. I took it 3 times a day. And I was so tired at work. My mum was like, you need to take it twice a day. I'm now addicted to diazepam. Eventually, I went to a doctor. My GP, the one I met for the first time. And I told him about the diazepam and he said, we don't really want you on that because it's highly addictive and you might get addicted. Well, it's too fucking late for that. I'm addicted to diazepam. So I go to him, I'm like, I'm sleeping too much, I'm angry, I'm just not great. And he's like, okay, we're taking you off the diazepam and we're gonna give you the highest dosage of mirtazapine. The higher the dosage was, I don't think it's the highest dosage. I don't know what the highest dosage is. But he said these exact words. The higher the dosage, the less drowsy the drug is. Wrong. I mean, kind of, because I literally sleep like 3 hours, go to work, then come home and sleep another 3 hours. But that's a whole different thing. That's just my anxiety kicking in. Because my anxiety is not being treated. Oh god, I still have to talk about the whole therapy situation. This is gonna be a long video. And then he looked at my file and he said, we need another blood test from you, which I guess they need yearly, apparently, but no one tells me these things, do they? I have to have fasting blood tests, but I didn't faint, so it's all good. And then he looks at my report from the mental health team. This is where you go see a psychiatrist, they evaluate you, and then they put you into like the different types of like therapy and shit you need to get better. I saw them in about August last year. That was the last time I ever saw them. Apparently, they were meant to see me again. I specifically remember my psychiatrist, when I talked to him, he said, I'll see you in the new year. And then I completely forgot about him because no one ever mentioned it to me again. When I talked to my mum about this, she said these words, you fell out of the system. Again. It's happened so many times now that I don't care anymore. I'm so tired. We haven't even got halfway through this story yet. It's a lot. It's a lot that's happened in the past 4 months and I'm starting to go insane. So he was like, okay, you need to make an appointment with them. Cut to 4 months later, I made an appointment last week. We'll get to that a bit later. But my point is, like, it took me 4 months because I was working all the time. I can't make phone calls by myself. I need my mum to help me make phone calls. I need her there beside me, but she's working different hours, I'm working different hours, and when I'm done with work, I don't want to hang around and wait so that I can have a 5-minute phone call and have to decipher dates when my mum's off so she can take me. It's a lot.